Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate this. This is the highlight of my life, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you so much. Got my wife a charge card just the other day. A whole $500 just for yesterday. I said, honey, here's a present. Go out and shop around. Get you a couple of dresses. Browse around downtown. She did just what I told her. On 1, 2, 3. Came home looking silly, making Google eyes at me. Master Charles, like America. Master Charles, like America. Master Charles. I said, you get your dresses?
Yes, 1 or 2. I needed me some shoes. I needed some jewelry too.
$200 dresses I could have made, I can't sew. It made me so mad. Could have called her so-and-so. Master Charles, back America. Master Charles, back America. Master Charles, back America. Oh, let's charge it now, let's charge it. Dresses, I paid 1.5. I was so mad, I just had to laugh. I could see in my mind on a horse like Carterville. I had to check my mailbox, cause these bills keep coming here. Master Charles, back America. Don't get too much on the bill, dear. No, I'm not trying to tell you how to spend your money. Yes, I know, but that $500 I owe already. That 28% is killing me, baby. I don't make $200 a week. Yes, I know, darling. I beg your pardon. I ain't buying my mother-in-law nothing. I'm sorry, darling, that slipped. I love my mother-in-law, but sorry about that, dear. Charge it. Take your time. Come over here, let me talk to you for a minute, baby.
Rock and Roll Roulette. We started off with Master Charge by Albert Collins. For those of you tuning in the first time, this show is born out of the frustration of hearing the same songs over and over and over again in classic rock, so we're going to get a little fun and a little bit different, and we're going to start it off our second song with Welcome to the Jungle, a cover by Richard Cheese.
Can find whatever you may need. If you got the money, honey, we got your disease in the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. Watch it bring you to your knees. I wanna watch you bleed. In the jungle, welcome to that jungle. Watch it bring you to your sha-na-na-na knees. I'm gonna watch you bleed. And when you're high, you never, ever wanna come down. So down, so down, so down. Jungle, baby. You're gonna die in the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. Watch it bring you to your knees. Watch it bring you down.
His tasteless cover is a good indication of the lack of musical invention within. The musical growth rate of this band cannot even be charted. They're treading water in a sea of retarded sexuality and bad poetry.
That's nitpicking, isn't it?
The Gospel According to Spinal Tap. This pretentious, ponderous collection of religious rock psalms is enough to prompt the question, what day did the Lord create Spinal Tap, and couldn't he have rested on that day too?
Never heard that one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
The review you had on Shark Sandwich, which was merely a 2-word review, just said, shit sandwich.
As they print that. Why they print that? No, really. You can't print that.
Stop wasting my time. You know what I want. You know what I need. Oh, maybe you don't. Do I have to come right flat out and tell you everything? Give me some money. Give me some money. I'm nobody's fool. I'm nobody's clown. I'm treating you cool. I'm putting you down. But baby, I don't intend to leave empty-handed. Give me some money. Give me some money. Oh yeah. Go, Nigel, go! Hey. Give me some money. Give me some money. Don't get me wrong. Some money. Try getting me right. Some money. Your face is okay, but your purse is too tight. Some money. I'm looking for pound notes, loose change, bad checks, anything. Give me some money. 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 Give me some money.
Did a little bit of Spinal Tap. We had the album reviews there, and Spinal Tap, of course, the fictitious band from the movie This Is Spinal Tap, and from that movie, the fictitious precursor to the fictitious band Spinal Tap was the Tamesmen with Gimme Some Money. We're going to do Ronnie James Dio a little later, and intro that, here's Tenacious D.
Dio has rocked for a long, long time, but now it's time for him to pass the torch. He has songs of wildebeests and angels. He has soared on the wings of a demon. But it's time to pass the torch. You're too old to rock. No more rocking for you now. We're taking you to a home, but we will sing a song about you. And we will make sure that you're very well taken care of. You'll tell us secrets that you've learned. Wow! Your sauce will mix with ours, and we'll make a good goulash, baby. Neo, time to go. You must give your cape and scepter to me, and the smaller one for KG. Go! Go! Neo! Neo!
my nights in books, written pages, lived and learned from fools and from sages. You know it's true. All these things come back to you. Sing with me, sing for the years, sing for the laughter, sing for the tears. Sing with me just for today, maybe tomorrow the good Lord will take you away. Sing with me, sing for the years, sing for the laughter, sing for the tears. Sing with me just for today, maybe tomorrow the good Lord will take you away. Dream on, dream on, dream on, dreams of a dream come true. Dream on, dream on, dream on, dream until your dream comes true. Dream on, 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 dream on. Sing with me, sing for the years, sing for the laughter, sing for the tears. Sing with me just for today, maybe tomorrow the good Lord will take you away. Sing with me, sing for the years, sing for the laughter, sing for the tears. Sing with me just for today, maybe tomorrow the good Lord will take you away.
Our regular guest here is Dr. Gonzo, a rock and roll musician and comedian who's opened up for a lot of bands, and he's here to relate the story of opening up for Blue Oyster Cult.
So one day I'm home and the phone rings. It's probably like 1981 or 2 or something. I don't know. I've been doing comedy for a little bit, and I had a close circle of friends: Kevin Pollak, Bobby Slayton, Steve Pearl, Mike Pritchard, guys like that, Jane Dornacher. And my phone rings, and it's Bobby Slayton calling me up. And I'd done a couple of shows at the old Waldorf, which is right next to the Punchline in San Francisco, downtown San Francisco. And they're combined with a kitchen. And you can, when you're working the Punchline, you can sneak into the old Waldorf through the kitchen. So I've seen a lot of shows over there. And so I get a phone call from Bobby Slayton, and he says, "Hey, I can't do this show tonight. Can you do it?" And I guess he'd said yes to it and was backing out, and I did not know that he was backing out. But I go, "Well, who is it?" And he said, Soft White Underbelly. And I didn't know who Soft White Underbelly was. I just thought, okay, it's a band. It's at the old Waldorf. Hell yeah, I'll take it. So I go down there. Unbeknownst to this young, stupid fucker, I get down there, and it's Blue Oyster Cult, who I had seen. And I slept through one time because the drugs were that good. But
this was like their alternative name?
Yeah, this is their studio record name. If you really were a Cult fan of theirs, I think that might have been their name just before they changed it to Blue Oyster Cult. I think before that it was Death Oyster Hell. But it was, I don't know what it was, Soft White Underbelly. So I go down and I do the show. And it's 2 shows on Friday night. So I get there for the first show, and the crowd is coming in and they're rowdy and everything, and I'm just not really too worried about it. But I'm like, boy, it's Blue Oyster Cult. I'm getting to meet them backstage, and they're short little Jewish guys from New York, and they seem pretty cool. And they have a T-shirt saying "No chicken salad, no show." They got to have their chicken salad that this guy Danny Shure used to make for Bill Graham. And so I'm backstage thinking, all right, this is going to be pretty cool. And I watched him sound check, and I'm like, my Dharma, this guy, unreal on the guitar. You know, you always want to throw your guitar away when you watch somebody really good. So, all right, they get ready to introduce me. So I'm over by the side of the stage, and the crowd's rowdy, and they're all, and then DJ comes out. He goes, all right, everybody having a good time? Well, first we got this comedian. Fuck you. We hate you. You suck. I fucked your mom. Go die. Fuck you. I mean, that was it. I mean, 750 some fuckers packed in there. We're supposed to do 20. So I go out. I do my 20. I'm real close to doing my 20. But it ended up becoming a yelling at him kind of thing. And I kept yelling at him and yelling at him. And finally I go, you want to hear some Leonard Skinner? They're like, yeah. I go, okay. And they're like, it's just, fuck you, we hate you, you suck, fuck you. So I'm just like, I'm just doing anything just to fucking piss them off now. At this point, I'm just trying to get them to do shit. And so I finally get off, man, and so I get off, and you know, the band, people are like going, what are you, fucking insane? What the fuck? You know, they go, you did your time, and they walk me back to my room, and I just sat there going, oh, God, I got to do a second show. And you know, if you've ever been to a late show on a Friday in a comedy club, okay, multiply that by about 1 billion. So I'm sitting there, and now I'm a nervous wreck, so I'm kind of watching the band, so I figure I'll go outside and get some air. Well, the second crowd's lined up all the way around the building and down the stairs and out on the street, and there's broken glass everywhere. Big kids with tattoos, you know, carved into their arms with swastikas and fucking upside down question marks. And I'm like, oh shit. So all I did was just fuck myself up more before my late show. So I did the late.
Didn't you like party with a bunch of these people in the hopes that? Well,
I just wanted to be away from them. I did not want to see them. I didn't want to touch them. No, that's another story. But so I go back in, and I'm a nervous wreck. So the band gets off. They come back and they take off all their leather and back into their Izod shirts, you know, between shows, just get out of their shit. What's the matter, Gonzo? I go, I just seen your late show crowd. Your fans are crazy. Oh, they'll love you, man. They'll love you. So I go out there, and I just fought them just like the other ones. And but this time, the KRQR, the local radio station, had put buttons on all the tables. You know, the big radio station buttons with the straight pin on the back of them. That didn't tuck in. It was just a straight pin that came off. And they're fucking flinging these things at me at the late show, you know, and ice cubes and everything else. And they're all just fucking, it's just, and I finally go, look, I'm going to sing a phrase and you yell, fuck you. So they're like, fuck you. And I go, okay, hi, fuck you. Hi, fuck you. Holy moly, fuck you. La, 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 fuck you. That's all that late show ended up being. So I get off stage, and I'm a fucking wreck, man. It's just been screaming, you know. So I get done with the show, man, and the band just handing it to me. Fuck you, you're fucking awesome. I'm like, yeah, right. I'm lucky to be alive. So it was like a year later. I give my money. I call Slayton the next day and chew his ass out. I go, you fucker, send me off to fucking Blue Oyster Cult. He goes, oh, I thought you knew who they were. Oh yeah, well fuck you. No, you didn't. You'd have said, hey, you went out for Blue Oyster Cult instead of Soft White Underbelly. Anyway, so a year later, I'm sitting at home. Excuse me, I gotta have a drink here. And the phone rings, and it's Bill Graham's office. And they go, hey Gonzo, we got a proposition for you. Oh really? What's up, man? You know. You never knew what you were going to get from the Bill Graham office. It could be, you want to work with Frampton, you want to go out and do a road thing, whatever. And so they go, there's a band that's been asking for you, man. Really wants you to open for them. I go, oh, yeah, really? Who? You say, Soft White Underbelly. I go, fuck you. I go, fuck you guys. I go, what are you trying to do? They go, look. They're coming back into town, and they specifically ask for you. They really like you, and they want you to do a couple of shows with them. And I go, no, there's a bet in the office between you fuckers to see who can talk me into doing this. This has nothing to do with the bands, you fucking fuckers. You know, and he's, you know, you can tell they're kind of like holding the phone down, whatever. They're just fucking me. I go, okay, here's the deal. I want twice the money. And they go, wait. I go, no. You want to win this bet? I want twice the money, and I want an ambulance parked outside the building. Just in case, I want EMTs on spot, because I came real close to death last time. So anyway, so I go back and I do this.
And there's one difference this time.
Well, there's a difference because after I hung up the phone, I started thinking about it. I go, man, I got a week. It was coming up. And so I had an old Fender Mustang guitar. And electric, and I started fucking around. And I, instead of being the clean-cut kid with the tie, whatever, on stage with the guitar, I said, fuck it, I'm going to turn into a rock and roll star. And got the wide open shirt. You know, and did the moves, and I learned how to. I did some Queen songs. I wrote.
You plugged in.
Yeah, I plugged in, and I did. I wrote probably 4 or 5 new things, but I came at them with balls this time, and they loved me. I really got away with it, and they really liked me a lot. And the band really liked me, so the band ended up using me over and over. And I don't know how many times I opened for them, but I told you that one time I was down Sunnyvale. I even worked it out where I could open for them at a 7 o'clock show, go down and do a 9 o'clock show at Sunnyvale, come back, open up the 10:30 show in the city, then come back down and open the late show, or close the late show. And so anyway, one time I get a call, and I can do the one night, but I can't do the second night. And I said, well, I'll get my friend Billy J. I'll call Billy J. So I called Billy J. up and told him about the gig, and I felt like Slayton. I really felt like Slayton by being asked, because I just said soft white underbelly. He goes, yeah, okay. I go, man, they like it. They like guitar acts. Okay, all right. Well, what had happened in these 3 or 4 years is I'd become the opening act for Soft White Underbelly, and didn't even realize that that's just what they expected. You don't even think about it. I didn't put it in that perspective, but that's what they did. They've seen me so many times. And so I do the first night. I have a good time with them. And that might have been the night the guy with the limo came. I can't remember. Because then anyway, the next night, I'm off doing something else, and Slayton, or Billy J. does the show. So later the next day, my phone rings. Thanks for the gig. I go, Billy, hey, what's up, man? He goes, thanks for the fucking gig. Fuck. I go, what do you mean, fuck? He goes, fuck. Because these guys were hawking loogies at me that had their own little universes spinning off of them. You know, and I could see them coming into the light, just spinning and trying to dodge them and not get hit in the face with fucking goobers. And I go, fun, wasn't it? So, Blue Oyster Cult, you know, God bless you guys. I just saw them at the fair a couple years ago. They were open for somebody, and I walked in the back room, and it's Buck Dharma and the other guy, the red hair.
The story about the limousine with remember your friend had the limousine, and then you went by Cobb's and.
Oh yeah, well, I went and picked up Bill Maher, and Bill Maher couldn't even believe it either. I mean, nobody could believe that anybody would walk out in front of Blue Oyster Cult. Why would you do that? But he was over at Cobb's playing. I picked him up. He goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "Well, I just came over because I'm in between breaks for the Blue Oyster Cult show." He goes, "Well, come on." He goes, "Let me go check this out." So I brought him over, and he watched me get screamed at and yelled at, and I yelled back at him, and everybody had a great time. Fuck this, and fuck you, and eat me, and fuck you. And it just, I had my own tailored show for that crowd. Fuck you, cocksuckers. Good night, everybody.
Guess what? I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
Here, but now they're gone. The seasons all feel burn. When the sun or the rain, we can be that they are. Come on, baby, don't fear the reaper. Baby, take my hand, don't fear the reaper. Baby, ever fly, don't fear the reaper. Baby, I'm your man. La la
Romeo and Juliet together in eternity. Romeo and Juliet, 1,000 men and women every day. Romeo and Juliet, 1,000 men and women every day. Love is 40,000 coming every day. Be like they are. Come on, baby, don't feel the reaper. Baby, take my hand. Don't feel the reaper. Be the head of the fly. Don't feel the reaper. Baby, I'm your man. La 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 la. La 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 la. Love of two is one. Here, but now they're gone. Came last night of sadness, and it was clear she couldn't go on. And the door was open and the wind appeared. The candle flew and then disappeared. The curtains flew and then it cleared. And don't be afraid, come on baby. And she had no fear. And she ran to him, she started to fly. They looked backward and said goodbye. Come back there. She had taken his hand, she had to come back there. Come on baby, don't feel the reaper.
Don't Fear the Reaper, an acoustic version done for like 200 special fans over in New York a few years ago, and I'm sure you heard the cowbell in there. Our featured band of the week is Jethro Tull, and we'll be talking to Jimmy McHugh right after this song from Aqualung. It's called Up to Me.
To the cinema and leave you in a wimpy bar. You tell me that we've gone too far. Come running up to me. Make the scene at Cousin Jack's. Leave him to put the bottles back. Mends his glasses that are cracked. well, that's one up to me. Hey. Buy a silver cloud to ride, pack the tennis club inside, trouser cuffs hung far too wide, well it was up to me. Tires down on your bicycle, you know it feels like an icicle. The yellow-fingered smoky girl is looking up to me. Yeah. A common working man, with a half of bitter bread and jam. And if it pleases me, I'll put one on your man when the copper fades away. Oh, it's up to me. Season comes to pass, the day-glow pirate sinks at last, and if I laughed a bit too fast, well, it was up to me. Take you to the cinema and leave you in a wimpy bar. You tell me that we've gone too far, come running up to me. Hey.
Welcome back to Rock and Roll Roulette. Our featured band of the week is Jethro Tull. And our guest is comedian Jimmy McHugh, the biggest Jethro Tull fan I know. You can catch Jimmy on Psychobabble TV. And he's been down Mason City Limits Comedy Club a few times. So that's how we know Jimmy. Welcome to the show, Jimmy.
Hey, great to be with you, Chris. Love it.
Hey, we both have something in common. We both have older brothers that have kind of influenced our taste in music. When did you first really get interested in rock music and the band Jethro Tull?
Well, I would say for the Jethro Tull band, it was probably back in 1971. This was when older brothers were just starting to buy hi-fi equipment, and did that, and came back and had a hi-fi stereo system with all the speakers and stuff. I was the young one on the block, so I was like, well, I wanted to buy an album that I could have my own album to play on the hi-fi. So I said, what do you recommend? And my one brother said, well, there's a new album by Jethro Tull out. And I'm like, well, I don't even know who that is. So
who's this guy, Jethro Tull?
Yeah. So I went out and picked up Aqualung, the first Jethro Tull album I'd ever picked up, my first album I ever bought. And boy, it's been a great ride since. And I've just become a big fan of Ian Anderson and the band and all the music he puts together. So yeah, that was my first foray. They'd obviously been already around before that. They had Benefit, Passion Play, and a couple other albums out prior to that.
Yeah, I saw the basically the family tree of the band, and they've had many guys have kind of come in and out of the band over the years.
Yeah, it's they've had 20 some odd members in the band from its inception, and it's taken on different challenges and different people. Ian seems to like guys that can bring some new life into the band, and other guys just had grown tired of the band and the touring. It's no different than being a comic on the road. The road can beat you up, and some guys just didn't want to be on the road anymore. And obviously Ian had put different guys into the band, so it was just it's been a great ride. I really appreciate watching the evolution of Jethro Tull and Ian Anderson, who was obviously at the helm of everything they do. He's the one who steers the ship and writes pretty much all the songs. So it's a collaboration, but he's the one who does all the writing.
Do you remember the first time you saw them? What year was it? What venue? What album they were touring on?
I was going to say it was probably 1976.
How old were you at that point?
I was 16, I think, 16, 17. Yeah, probably about 17.
And you grew up in the Chicago area, so this was a Chicago area show?
Yeah, it was at the Chicago Stadium, of all things, and it was when they were doing Songs from the Wood.
Yeah, The Whistler is one of my favorite songs on that album.
Yeah, it's great set. I mean, just a great tour, and this is when Ian kind of changed gears a little bit and had a little bit more of a renaissance. And that particular album, Songs from the Wood, is classic. Has a lot of great songs on it.
Now, besides seeing them many times in concert, you've also got to interview Ian Anderson on a couple of occasions as well, and some other members of the band through the TV show Psychobabble, which is on Chicago Public Access TV.
Right.
Tell me about how the first experience came when you got to meet Ian before, and how many times have you interviewed him, and what was that experience like?
Well, it was the way it initially panned out, which is kind of funny for my buddy Mike Preston, who runs Psychobabble. We started getting access to different bands, and he calls me up one day, and he goes, hey, we got an opportunity to interview Jethro Tull. He goes, would you be interested? I said, well, yeah, I'd be interested. He says, well, we're going to have a chance to interview the guitar player, Martin Barr. And I'm like, but they gave us a caveat, and obviously you can understand, they were, people that get interviews requests all the time from some of these bands, and sometimes they make it a little harder for people, figuring that, maybe you guys just won't be able to do this because of the circumstances we're going to tell you.
Yeah, how bad do you want to do the interview?
Yeah, how, circumstances, how the interview needs to be conducted. So they said, well, you have to do the interview while Ian is jogging. And they probably thought that Mike was just going to say, well, okay, well, sorry, but we can't do it. But I'm an avid runner, so he calls me up, he says, you want to do the interview? He goes, yeah. So he calls him back up, he says, yeah, we got a guy, we can do it while he's running, while he's jogging. And I think we threw them a curveball, because I don't think they expected that to be the case. So, they were playing downtown at the Navy Pier, and this is probably a week before the show, and as the day grew closer, they finally said, no, he goes, you don't have to do it while he's jogging, but you're going to have to do it right after sound check. So I had a horrible time getting downtown. Traffic was just horrible, but I ended up getting downtown and doing a great interview with Martin, who couldn't have been any nicer, just a really, really nice guy. And it was my first time interviewing anybody from Tull, so I was a little bit nervous. And then we'll fast forward a couple of years later, we're doing another interview request, and we get the opportunity to interview Ian. And my buddy Mike says, you want to do the interview? I'm like, well, yeah, but boy, oh boy, he's my idol. And boy, talk about somebody who's just stage struck.
Sure.
And Ian Anderson walks in. It's early in the morning. He had just played in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and was going to be playing in the Chicago Theater, but the opportunity to interview him happened to be the day before, or the day after his Sheboygan show. So anyways, we're down at his hotel, and it's a little quaint hotel downtown Chicago right off of Lakeshore Drive, and we go in, and he's there, and he's very kind. He's very nice to organizations like Psychobabble and other independent organizations trying to, get their feet underneath them as far as trying to be something. As far as being an organization that's a fledgling group and trying to get their feet wet. So they're very nice about giving us access and being very hospitable to us. So, but I had a bunch of questions I want to ask Ian Anderson, but you can appreciate this. The guy's been playing music forever, and here I am, just a new journalist, and I never know. He's heard every one of these questions 1,000 times.
Correct.
So what am I going to bring to the table that's going to make him, think a little bit? And Ian's a very well thought out guy.
Yes, he is.
He's very smart, and I'm sitting right next to him on a couch. I'm looking at him, and I could tell he's looking at me looking in my eyes, going, "Kid, you have no clue." And I'm like, "Yep, you got that right, man. I'm just sitting here just drooling, going, man, I'm sitting next to Ian Anderson, and I would have never thought in 1,000 years that here I am sitting next to Ian Anderson and Jethro Tull." But very nice guy. We've had a chance to interview him a few times. That was my only chance to interview him, but I've been involved in the other interviews where I'm running camera, and Mike Preston and myself, we do some brainstorming, and I did talk to Ian regarding the latest project that he had put out, Thick as a Brick 2, and he was very nice. But before that particular album became Thick as a Brick 2, it was going to be just another Jethro Tull album. And he had written a number of songs, and as it turns out, he decided to make it Thick as a Brick 2, where he brought Gordon Bostock, who was the initial person who supposedly wrote Thick as a Brick, you know, the little 12-year-old kid who wrote Thick as a Brick. Well, what he did is he made Gordon grow up, and so he brought Gordon back. So now Gordon is now helping sing, and we interviewed Ryan O'Donnell, who plays the part of Gordon Bostock currently, and is in the band, and helps alleviate some of the singing that Ian has to do, because Ian's voice just cannot hold up. As much as he still loves making music, the one thing that has suffered more than anything else has been his voice. But he can still play the flute and the mandolin and the woodwinds. He plays a number of different flutes.
Always a very theatric performance, and he's quite the showman, great front man. And one of the few bands with two versions of greatest hits, separate greatest hits albums.
Yeah, well, when you've been around as long as they have, and what they're doing currently, and some people think it's a money grab, but if you have a great stereo system, they've been remastering virtually every one of their albums on a 40-year anniversary thing. So they just redid War Child. They just came out with that. And that comes off the heels of a Passion Play and an Aqualung. So he keeps remastering these in 5.1 digital surround sound. It's done by an engineer by the name of Steve Wilson. And, you have to have the right equipment in order to hear this. You have to have 5-channel surround sound. My friend has it. I don't happen to have that high quality of a system at my house. But we were at his house the other day, and I can tell you that when you listen to the center speaker, you can hear Ian Anderson inhale and exhale between breaths when he's singing and when he's doing his flute work. It's really, it's like having the musicians in your basement playing. I mean, the sound is so separated and so clear. You wonder how you ever listen to music any other way.
You get spoiled, I'm sure, listening to it like that. Now, the last time you had an experience with those guys, you saw Ian Anderson on his solo tour. Is that correct? When did that happen, and what was that like?
Well, Ian's been doing different variations of what is Jethro Tull. So when you say it's been Ian Anderson on a solo tour, it's not really that. It's basically the music of Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull. So he's still going to use Jethro Tull moniker to help sell tickets and stuff like that. And he's written his own songs. But the bandmates that he has on those solo tours are the same people that are doing the Jethro Tull tours now. So it's not a whole bunch of different people anymore. It's pretty much the same guys he's been working with about the last 6-7 years. Florian O'Pally, John O'Hara, and try to remember a couple of the other guys. The guy on bass, I'm just losing my mind here. But David Goodyear and Scott Heyman is on drums. But just still putting out great music. But one of the best concerts I ever saw was when he came out with one of his individual albums, which is called Divinities, and it's a classic album. But if people haven't heard that, they should really take a chance and go find that album, because it plays a lot of different woodwinds, and it's just basically Divinities. It's called 12 Dances with God, and what Ian does is he takes religious music from different parts of the world and has different interpretations of it through his music, and it's just a great showman, but and more importantly, he's just a great musician. I mean, none of the people that he has in his band are sloppy guys. They're session musicians that can do exactly what they do in the studio and also replicate it on the stage. And it's just a phenomenal concert to see. Some bands, might sound good in the studio, and then when they go to tour, they're just kind of sloppy. They don't put...
Doesn't quite translate, yes.
Yeah, to replicate what they need to do on stage and put on a good... Ian Anderson and the guys, one thing we're going to talk about regarding the songs that I've selected, one is My God, which is off the Aqualung album. Really, it kind of tells you what the modus operandi was of what Ian Anderson thought of his style of music and what he wanted to present. He basically took acoustic guitar and melded it along with the flute, along with electric guitar, and that really had not been done by anybody on any stretch or any particular, that just wasn't anybody's code of what they were producing music, and that's what Ian Anderson did with Jethro Tull. He basically married acoustic guitar along with electric guitar with Martin Barr, and to great success. And you can pretty much tell when you hear a Jethro Tull song, you know it, because there's a distinctive sound regarding the acoustic, and there's also a distinctive sound regarding the electric. And that's still being done today. Florian Opali, the German guitarist who replaced Martin Barr, you would have a hard time telling the two apart. Florian is a very nice guy. We interviewed him a few years ago when they were in Milwaukee, and a really nice guy. And a young kid. He's only like 26 years old. So Ian likes to surround himself with a bunch of like-minded guys who want to do a great job on stage. There was a recent interview that I saw with Martin Barr, and they were asking him why he's no longer with the band, and he has his own solo projects that he's doing. He has a couple solo albums out that he's put on, one featuring a lot of Tull music, and Ian was actually very supportive of that and was pushing Martin to do his own solo stuff. So it wasn't like they left the band on bad terms, but Martin did say that sometimes they would do sound checks before a gig, and the sound checks were longer than the actual concert. So I kind of told you that, Ian is a stickler for making sure everything sounds right. He's not interested in just going out there and collecting a check. He obviously wants to reproduce the music that they're about to play on stage and making sure that it sounds well. But that shows you the kind of, performer that Ian is. But, hey, that can rub some guys the wrong way. If you're doing a sound check for 2.5 hours and you're only on stage for, maybe not even 90 minutes, you're kind of like, hey, what am I getting paid to do here? So,
right. The other song you picked was Life's a Long Song, and tell me about that. What album did that come from, and tell me about that song.
Well, Life's a Long Song is off the Living in the Past album, which is basically a compilation kind of thing of songs that had already been produced. They had some new music on there, and then also had some songs that had already been in the can, and they decided to reprise them on Living in the Past. It's just a great acoustic song about life, and really that's what life is. It is a long song, and the way the words are, and Ian is pretty much tells you that life is a long song, and the tune ends too soon for us all. And it's true, it's a great song. I've performed it many times. I love it.
And if our public wants to catch the interviews that you did for Psychobabble, are they available online?
Yeah, my John O'Hara and David Coutier, they can check that out. You can go to YouTube, and if you type in Psychobabble TV, you can go through and scroll through those, or Psychobabble TV, John O'Hara, and you can check that one out. I need to put up my, we've kind of lost, somebody has the footage from my Martin Barr one, and that gentleman has kind of gone missing, so we're in search of that one. And I'll have to put up I'll nervously have to put up my Ian Anderson one that I did when I was, very green as far as my my interview skills were concerned, but he was very nice to give me 20 minutes. And one of the side stories in that interview was I was going to ask him about a particular event that had happened on stage one time, and it's a story that's been published before, so it wasn't like I was bringing anything out of out of turn. Someone had thrown something at him on stage. As you know, you can imagine, a lot of times performers are on stage, and especially back in the rock and roll era, you had a bunch of drunken knuckleheads and who knew what else, whatever they were taking and altering their minds. But someone had taken something and thrown it at Ian. And initially, you didn't see. What you saw was there was a big blotch on his shirt. Well, it was a red blotch. Okay. Well, someone had decided that for some apparent reason, if they were having their time of the month, it was time to get rid of their thing, and had thrown it on stage. So, and it had hit Ian. So, at the time I was doing the interview, I wanted him to bring that up about how he dealt with that situation. But he looked around. He goes, "Well, there's a young lady over there," and I couldn't see her because she was tucked around the corner. And I'm like, "I don't see any lady." And this little old lady, probably about 85 years old, kind of like pokes her head out from around this little alcove and kind of looks at me. I'm like, "Oh, okay, got it, no problem." So Ian was very nice, but yeah, no, we never got into that story. It just didn't come up, but I knew what the story was, and I wanted him to bring it up, but it just didn't get discussed. But really nice man, very, very, very worldly. He's some people should take notice of if you haven't before. He's got a lot of great music that he's been a part of, and now he's even playing with some other bands too. And he has a part on a band called Jeff the Brotherhood is the name of the band, and the name of the song is called Black Cherry Pie, featuring Jethro Tull featuring Ian Anderson from Jethro Tull. So the name of the band is called Jeff the Brotherhood, and they have a song called Black Cherry Pie that Ian participates in. So that just came out recently too. So
I want to thank our guest Jimmy McHugh, and we're going to go into the two songs he chose. This one is called My God off Aqualung.
People, what have you done? Locked him in his golden cage. Golden cage. Made him bend to your religion. Him resurrected from the grave. From the grave. Is the God of nothing, if that's all that you can see. You are the God of everything. He's inside you and me. So lean upon him gently, and don't call on him to save. You from your social graces. Whoa, and the sins you're used to wave. You used to And the graven image, you know, with his plastic crucifix, he's got him fixed. Confuses me as to who and where and why, as to how he gets his kicks. He gets his kicks. Confessing to the endless sin, the endless winding sounds. You'll be praying till next Thursday to all the gods that you can count.
When you're falling awake and you take stock of the new day, and you hear your voice croak as you choke on what you need to say, well, don't you fret, don't you fear, I will give you good cheer. Life's a long song, life's a long song, life's a long song. If you wait, then you play it, I will feel as the verses unfold and your soul suffers the long day, and the 12 o'clock gloom spins the room. You struggle on your way. Well, don't you sigh, don't you cry, lick the dust from your eye. Life's a long song, life's a long song, life's a long song. We will meet in the sweet light of dawn as the Baker Street train spills your pain all over your new a long song. Life's a long song. Life's a long song. But the tune ends too soon for the song. The tune ends too soon for us all.
This segment of Far Out Man, we have a couple songs from Rebuild the Wall by Luther Wright and the Wrongs. It's a bluegrass version of that album, and it's done all the way through. They don't cut any corners for that. And we're going to do a couple tunes from this, including starting off with In the Flesh.
Might like to go to the show to feel the warm thrill of confusion, that space cadet glow. But I've got some bad news for you, sunshine. Pink isn't well, they stayed back at the motel. They've sent out the Wrongs as a surrogate band. We're gonna find out where you fans really stand.
Are there any deer in the theater tonight? Get him up against the wall.
Against the wall.
There's one in my headlights, he don't look right to me. Get him up against the wall.
Against the wall.
That one looks squeamish, and there's a raccoon who let all this wildlife into the room. There's one smoking a joint and another with spots. If I had my way around here, I'd have all of his shot. leaving just a memory. A snapshot in the family album.
Thanks for listening.
Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there?
Got a little black book with my poems in. Got a bag with a toothbrush and a comb in. When I'm a good dog, and sometimes throw me a bone in. I got elastic bands keeping my shoes on. I got these swollen hand blues. I got 13 channels of shit on the TV to choose from. I got electric light, and I got second sight. I got amazing powers of observation, and that's how I know when I try to get through on the telephone to you. There'll be nobody home. Obligatory Hendrix perm and the inevitable pinhole burns all down the front of my favorite satin shirt. I got nicotine stains on my fingers. I got a silver spoon on a chain. Got a grand piano to prop up my mortal remains. Staring eyes. I got a strong urge to fly, but I ain't got no place to fly to, fly to, fly to. Ooh, babe, I'll pick up the phone. There's still nobody home. Got a pair of Go Hills boots, and I got fading rooms.
Again, the album was Luther Right and the Wrongs from Far Out Man. You heard In the Flesh. You heard Another Brick in the Wall. Also, Nobody Home, which is one of my favorites from the original and from this one. And we're going to have a little bit of Elvis now.
I can sit down. First of all, I plead innocent of all charges.
Is your wife Priscilla with you? No, she's not.
Elvis, why did you start making public appearances again?
I just missed it. I missed the closeness of an audience, of a live audience. So just as soon as I got out of the movie contracts, I started to do live performances again.
Mr. Presley, what is your opinion of war protesters? And would you today refuse to be drafted?
Honey, I just seem to keep my own personal views about that to myself. I'm just an entertainer, and I'd rather not say.
You think other entertainers should also keep their views to themselves?
No.
Are you satisfied with the image you've established?
Well, the image is one thing, and a human being is another, you know.
How close is the image to the man?
It's very hard to live up to an image, I'll put it that way.
What about your image as a shy, humble country boy?
Oh, I don't know what makes them think that. You know, the gold belt and
The first thing that we recorded, the very first thing, was an old rhythm and blues type song. And if I fall asleep here, just give. There's an old rhythm and blues type song called "That's All Right, Little Mama," and we only had 2 or 3 instruments at a time. And we had a guitar, a bass, and another guitar, and it went like this.
Well, that's all right, Mama. That's all right with you. That's all right, Mama. Just any way you do. That's all right. That's all right, Mama. Any way you do. Well, Mama, she done told me. Papa done told me too. Son, that gal you fooling with, she ain't no good for you. That's all right. That's all right. That's
Oh, it's so funny to be seeing you after so long, girl. The way you look, I understand that you were not impressed. I heard you let that little friend of mine take off your party dress. I'm not gonna get too sentimental like those other stick valentines, 'cause I don't know if you are loving somebody. I only know it isn't mine. Allison, I know this world is killing you. My aim is true. Well, I see you got a husband now. Leave your pretty fingers lying in the wedding cake. You used to hold him right in your hand, but it took all he could take. Sometimes I wish that I could stop you from talking when I hear the silly things that you say. I think somebody better put out the big light, 'cause I can't stand to see you this way. Oh, Allison, I know this one is killing you. My aim is true. My aim is true. My aim is true.
Elvis Presley, and followed by Elvis Costello doing a live version of Allison. That was from the Woodstock concert. That was not the original, of course, but the one that was done a few years after that. And we haven't had a female on this issue of Rock and Roll Roulette, so this is from the K-Fog Archives. That's a rock and roll station out of San Francisco. And this is Sarah McLachlan doing Building a Mystery.
When the energy comes and the dark side's light, vampires roar. You stretch your rest aware and your suicide pour, across from a faith that died before Jesus came. Building a mystery. Church where you sleep with voodoo dolls and you won't give up the search for the ghosts in the halls. You wear sandals in the snow, a smile that won't wash away. Can you look out the window without your shadow getting in the way? You're so beautiful with an edge and a charm, and so careful when I'm in yours, 'cause you're working, building a mystery, holding on, holding it in. Yeah, you're working, building a mystery, and choosing so carefully.
find yourself darling on a boat, your harbor's deep and wide. Oh, keep me out of countries in the world. Disappointments leading you to serve. Get it straight off the vine. Where to go? Calling on honey and transit. Calling on honey and transit. Radio free up, radio free up. Calling on honey and transit. Calling on honey and transit. Radio free up, radio free.
We're not from Atlanta, from Athens. We're going to do 2 more songs. This one's new.
A little bit of REM, live version of Radio Free Europe, and we're going to close it out with Slash and a friend doing an acoustic version of Sweet Child of Mine.
I guess this is our last song. And we'll make it a good one. You think? Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to Rock and Roll Roulette. Again, check us out on Facebook, Rock and A&D Roulette, Rock and Roll Roulette. And we're also available on iTunes. Check